Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this insane modern mansion. I want to warn you, this house is very mysterious and it's so much fun to explore. On the outside of the mansion, we have a large swimming pool, which drops down into a smaller waterfall pool. We have an extensive walkway which leads you around to all of the areas of the house. Surrounding the pool, we have a lounging area decorated with colourful carpet, plants, paintings, and a mixture of survival-based items. Around the outside of the base as well, we have plenty of terraces and balconies, which can only be gained access to in a particular way. So this leads to a lot of exploration. Every single one of the balconies and terraces and hidden rooms are really only explorable if you find the right way to get to them, including this storage area / bedroom that we have on the right side of the house. You can see that this is enough room for 4 people at least, and it keeps going. You see, if you were to go up to the second floor of the modern mansion, then you would find another entrance hidden in the back here, which gives you access to the broader mansion itself, including a living room and a kitchen area. And down this hidden away corridor gains access to this smaller terrace. If you were to go through this area, then we gain access to this larger barbecue area, which has a nice large balcony to accommodate it. And we even have hidden rooms upon hidden rooms. Under the stairs, you might be able to find a secret too. If we come all the way upstairs, you'll find a survival-based upstairs, which has plenty of library and storage and enchanting and brewing space. And as you keep moving through the house, you will find more secrets and more things to explore as you do work your way around. I myself just forgot one particular important aspect of the house, which is this little hidden away room here, which allows you to look out onto the pool, or should I say into the pool. But what's maybe cooler is we have a hidden away archery range hidden underneath the house, looking into the pool. That's insane. All in all, this house is a little bit mental, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. If you do, please do remember to hit that like button, as it really does help me and the channel out immensely. It honestly does. And if you enjoyed this video enough to click on it, or maybe even if you make it, maybe you want to make it first, please share it with a friend. I'm sure that they might appreciate the insanity that we're about to get to make. But without any further ado, let's do this. To make the mansion, we are going to require every single one of the materials that I have in my inventory right now. The ones that I have in my hotbar are more general house building materials. The rest are far more for decoration. Please pause the video and make sure that you can grab every single one of these, and then we may begin. The house itself doesn't take up that much floor space. It's built upwards rather than outwards. You only need a 32 block by a 27 block area to make the house. If you like, you can plant this grid in your world to better help plan out your build. And if you do, you want to make your way to the front left hand corner of the build, which is here, and you want to, from this corner, count inwards by 2. 1, 2. This is where it'll all start. So, we now want to, from this block, place a block of quartz. Moving backwards from this block, place 5 upside down quartz stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a block of quartz. 5 more upside down stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a block of quartz. 5 more stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a block of quartz. And once more, 5 stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a block of quartz. like that. Now, once you have done that, we are going to look from the back of the build to the front of the build. We want to take that block of quartz, and we want to go left of it by 5 using upside down stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place a block of quartz. Then 5 more stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a block of quartz. 5 more stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a block of quartz. And we're doing this one more time. 5 stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a stair. Now we want to do 6 quartz stairs. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 block of quartz. So you can see that last section is ever so slightly bigger. And that is indeed intentional, guys. So make sure that you do that. And then we can swing around to the right side of the build. And once more, we want to take this block of quartz and place 5 upside down stairs in front of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then a block of quartz. 5 stair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Block of quartz. 5 more stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Block of quartz. And then 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Block of quartz. Now, here's where things get different. We want to, on top of this block of quartz, place 2 additional block of quartz. 1, 2. With a quartz slab on top. Extend the quartz slab forwards by 2. So that's 1, 2. I then want you to extend that left by 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then extend that inwards by 2, 1, 2. And then place blocks of quartz coming down from that block to hit the ground. I then want you to take the block that hits the ground and place 2 quartz slabs in front of it. 1, 2. Extend that second block to the right and then inwards like this to create that shape. I then want you to place yourself some grey concrete in the corners of this. The left corner going from the bottom to the top here, as high as the block of quartz to the left of it, but not as high as the quartz slabs. And the same on the right using grey concrete too. So grey concrete here on the right corner going from the bottom to the top. Connect the grey concrete left to right at the top and left to right at the bottom, like so. We are then going to place a row of glass pane inside of the grey concrete like this. Later on, we'll decorate that a little bit nicer. Next, we want to do a couple of things from this point. There's so many different ways to do the next few parts. But we are going to take this block of quartz on the ground that we extended forwards, and we want to take that block of quartz and place 5 upside down quartz stairs left of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a block of quartz. And then 5 more stair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a block of quartz. And then what we're going to do is we're going to then begin from the very first block that we placed. And from this block, we want to go right of this by 5 using upside down quartz stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then place a block of quartz. And then from that block of quartz there, we want to go backwards from it and place 5 upside down stairs. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then place a block of quartz. I then want you to place 2 additional blocks of quartz on top of this. So that's going to be 1, 2. And extend those 2 blocks of quartz inwards as well. Like that. That'll become important later. I then want you to take the block of quartz on the ground and extend it to the right by 5 upside down stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then place a block of quartz. Extend that block of quartz upwards by 2. 1, 2. And now, I want you to place a quartz slab on top of that block and extend that quartz slab backwards by 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And extend that down to the ground using block of quartz like so. And then extend that 6th block across the side of the build. And I want you to do it once again using quartz slabs, and I want you to extend it to the right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then extend that down to the ground using block of quartz like that. Now, once you have done that, you have set up a little bit of a framework for the pool. That's what we're going to work on first, I think. So, now I want you to take the front corners at the front of the build, this block of quartz here and this block of quartz here, and I want you to place an additional block of quartz on top of each one of these. On the side of the build, you will notice on the left side specifically, we have this block of quartz here. On top of this, I want you to place 2 more block of quartz. 1, 2. And extend those 1 row inwards. Like this. I then want you to take this wall and I want you to place quartz slab on top of it. Like so. And then take this quartz slab and extend it backwards by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then connect that down using block of quartz. Like so. And this is kind of the pool area. I then want you to raise up these back block of quartz. So this block of quartz here and that one there. Place 2 block of quartz on top of them. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and then place a quartz slab on top and connect that forward like this. I then want you to take the empty space in these back 2 rectangles and I want you to place grey concrete going around the inside of the empty space like this. So actually, if we start at the bottom and you place grey concrete behind the bottom stairs and raise up the sides by 2 and then connect them at the top, that's the sort of shape that we're after. And we want the same of this one as well, so grey concrete behind the stairs, raise up the 2 sides by 2 like this to fill the empty space on the outside, and you'll end up with this. And you see from the outside you'll get this effect, which is pretty cool. We're going to fill this in using blue stained glass paint. Like so. Just like that. We're going to fill this whole area here in using blue stained glass paint. So these empty rows here, just blue stained glass paint. I want you to place blue stained glass paint on top of these quartz slabs here around the front where the waterfall pool is going to go. And whilst we are working on it, I also want you to place glass pane underneath these 2 overhanging parts of the pool here, literally underneath the quartz blocks, and you can even raise it up a row as well. This is how we get the waterfall effect later. I then want you to take this empty space here and raise it up 2 rows using your glass pane, like this. And what you can also do is place quartz slab on top of all of the glass pane and the quartz blocks, like so. What we then are going to do is I want you to take out your grey concrete, and where we have this row of block of quartz here with the quartz slab, I want you to place a row of grey concrete to the right of, and behind of this row that is 3 blocks high. 1, 2, 3. And I want to have a row of grey concrete that comes from here and wraps around the edge of the pool. So like this, it goes from one side of the pool all the way over to the opposite side of the pool. And this is going to stop any water coming through, you see. That's the entire point of that. We can even place a quartz slab coming inwards from this position and this position, because this is typically where you're going to be entering the pool. And speaking of the pool area, this is all going to be filled in with water, so you might want to make some window areas inside of the grey concrete parts here. You might want to knock out the centres of them and fill them in with glass, as we are going to be able to see the inside of the pool from the hidden part of the house that is going to take this left side. And in the interest of making the pool look a bit more interesting, I am going to dig out the center of the pool, and I'm going to dig out all of the grass here, and I'm going to re-floor the pool. And what that means is that I'm going to use a different material for the base of the pool so that it doesn't look boring. I'm considering at this moment in time oak wood planks, and I want a separation underneath the glass here, by the way. I want to show where the pool separates, and we're also going to be adding some lighting into the pool as well. I think that I'm going to use oak wood planks for the base of the pool, but if you want something that'd shine a bit brighter and something that you could see a bit easier from the outside looking into the water, as water is, you know, it's kind of like opaque, it's kind of difficult to see through it, then I would suggest a lighter material, perhaps the white concrete that we haven't got out, or or the block of quartz if you want to keep it up to what we've used on the rest of the house, something that you will have on you, but something like this will look just fine. And what I would suggest is, in certain points, placing sea lanterns around the edge of the pool, kind of like this. That will light up the window areas too. And I'm also going to place a sea lantern here in the center of the waterfall, just because I think it goes nicely. And all we have to do from this point onwards, and this is a material that we don't have, funnily enough I've forgotten something, surprise surprise, we will need water though, I'm sure that you guys gathered it, so I'm going to fill the pool, the waterfall pool, in with water, and I'm going to add water to the larger pool as well, but the larger pool, it's in the name, is larger. So this pool wants to be about 3 rows high. It wants to come up as high as the grey concrete surrounding it pretty much. And it is going to flow into the waterfall pool. And you can shape the water. I think that was a film actually, Shape of Water. But you can shape the water, so that looks all fine and dandy like that. But perhaps you want to spread it out a little bit. And perhaps you want to just make it look a little bit, how shall I say, maybe chunkier might be the correct word, but you just might want to shape the water however you like, just to make it look a certain way. I don't know, that's completely up to you. You can manipulate the water however you like. I mean, maybe this would work just to fan it out a little bit, if that makes sense. So something like that, I quite like. And now it kind of looks like, it looks much more like a pointy bit of water. I'm not sure, like, I don't know, but it looks quite cool like that. And you might like that look too. Anyway, once you have got that sorted out, we're now going to work on this next bit. So, it was a little while ago, but I want you to focus now on the right side of the build a little bit more. So, where we have this wall, where we have the block of quartz with the quartz slabs connecting them, I want you to place a quartz block on top of each of the quartz blocks that we already have. I then want you to place quartz slab on top of the quartz blocks, and blue stained glass pane in between those blocks, like this. I then want you to take this area of the house, and it's kind of a weird area. It's the only window that we have on the right side of the house. Well, I want you to take this quartz slab and extend it backwards, by 6 using your quartz slab. So this block, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And connect that down to the ground using block of quartz. I then want you to take that 6th quartz slab and extend it to the left, once again by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then connect that block down to the ground. I then want you to place, and this can be entire rows actually, just to make it easy. I want you to place a row of 5 quartz slab moving backwards from the quartz slab in the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what I meant when I said whole rows is I now want you to place block of quartz underneath this. So we are just framing a little bit more of the house now. You can see how it's going to be laid out a little bit better. So I want you to take this area here that we've just created, and I want you to place grey concrete all the way around the area that we've made, kind of like in a rectangular shape like this, just grey concrete all the way around the area, with glass pane inside of it, like this. And then this right side, I want you to place a row of grey concrete inside of this area, starting from the left, coming up, going right, and then down, like this. I then want you to place a block of quartz inwards inside of this area. Extend the block of quartz towards you by 1 row. And then place a row of quartz slab on top of the quartz blocks. This forms an obvious doorway, which we'll be discussing later. I will show you how to divide the house up into different rooms. I'm not going to show you how to do the entire interior though in this video. Maybe I'll make a separate video, but I don't know, who knows. So this is what we want to have so far, right? This is a pretty decent amount of the house done. We've actually got quite a lot of the outer framework complete. But now, I want to work on the house part of this. So, speaking of the house, I want you to come all the way to the back of it, the back of the house. And I want you to take every block of quartz that you find on the back part of the house, and I want you to raise it up by 2 rows, okay? So that's going to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, like that. I then want you to place a quartz slab on top of this last row and extend it all the way to the right. This should connect perfectly all the way to the right side. Bloop, just like that. Okay? That's perfect. Now, funnily enough, I want you to fill in all of these areas here. I want you to fill in all of these empty areas in using grey concrete. There is not one area that we have that isn't going to be grey concrete. A lot of this house is very secretive. If you want to add windows and stuff later, then you are absolutely allowed to. I am going to add in the separations after though, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do want these separations on the inside of the house, which is what I'm doing now, right? So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do want those separations myself, just because it will kind of help me as to how we're going to divide the house up later. But from the outside looking in, what we will have created is this. So you can see how this is coming together. What I then want you to do is I want you to take the very left side of the build where we place this quartz slab initially. I want you to place another quartz slab on top of it, and then 3 more block of quartz on top of that. 1, 2, 3. Like that. Go all the way over to the right side. I want you to locate this block right here, on the right side. On top of this block, I want you to place a quartz slab, specifically that block by the way. I'm sure you'll find it no problem. On top of that, I want you to place 3 block of quartz. 1, 2, 3. And then extend that third one to the left using quartz slabs. Once more, this will take you a little while. Bloop, just like that. Now this whole area too, I'm going to fill in using grey concrete. Now, the difference with this is that there is going to be some windows, and I'll show you where I do add the windows, but it really depends on the interior. A lot of the front and sides of this house has windows everywhere. That's why a lot of the back doesn't have windows. There doesn't have to be a window every couple of blocks. Sometimes you can just leave things nice and blank, just to have a bit of mystery. So, you'll be left with this area here. I want you to, this is where the windows are going to get added in, by the way, just in case you're curious. I'm going to have a window, starting from the left here. I want this block, this block, this block, and this block. I'm going to knock all those out. I'm going to replace that with a window. Right? I'm going to leave a gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to knock out 1, 2, 3 blocks, and then I've got windows. That part of my house is kind of like a kitchen / living room area, so we've got a little bit of natural light coming in. There's nothing wrong with it, but sometimes you don't need windows everywhere. Now, I want you to take the back top left corner of the house, this part, and I want you to raise it up by 3 using block of quartz. 1, 2, 3. Extend that to the right by 14 using quartz slabs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I want you to then connect that downwards using slabs. Like that. I then want you to take that 14th slab and extend it right by 6 using quartz slabs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then extend that downwards using quartz slabs as well. So we have now created I'll call it the skeletons for some rooms upstairs. And once more, I'm going to place grey concrete inside of these 2 empty areas here. The grey concrete is going to fill them up, and I'm not going to have any windows on the top part of the house. Again, just to reiterate, because sometimes there's too many windows. And on this particular occasion, I don't think I'm jumping the gun with this. I want to raise up the grey concrete by an additional row, and I want to connect it together from side to side. So from the inside looking out, that's creepy, we have something which should look like that. If you cover up your left eye and can put it like straight in front of your face, this right part here kind of looks like an Enderman or something. Are you guys seeing that with the eyes and the mouth? Anyway, that's what we want to have. And from the outside looking in, that's what we will have. Now, from this point here, I then want to move to the right side of the build. Yeah. Okay, right side of the build. First of all, we are going to take all of the blocks of quartz at the bottom of the build. There's only 3 of them. And I want you to raise them all up by 3. We'll raise them up by 3. Block of quartz. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I want you to take this quartz slab here on the left side of the right side of the house. This quartz slab, I want you to extend it through all of the blocks of quartz, moving towards the back of the house, like this. We are then going to fill in all of these areas using grey concrete. So this particular part of my house, you could add some windows into this part, and I might, just to mix it up a little bit. But this part of the house is kind of like the underground part. It's kind of supposed to be hidden, you know? So that's why I left it without any windows. I don't want people looking in and seeing that there's kind of stuff there. I want people to have to explore the house. But that's up to you. I'm going to leave it blank. That's what we will have once we've finished. Now, once you have done that, I want you to take all of these blocks of quartz that we have sticking up, and I want you to add 3 additional blocks of quartz on top of each of them. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to place a row of quartz slab that connects them all together. So it connects all of them together, and it also connects to the back of the house as well. And this part is actually a little bit different. We are going to fill this in using grey concrete again. Okay, so I'm going to use grey concrete to fill in all of these areas. However, we are going to be adding windows and stuff to this part. This particular part of my house, if I've got my geography right, and I don't usually because I did horrible in geography, but this is my kitchen. So from the outside looking in, we do want a bit of natural light. And we want the natural light coming in from this panel here. So I'm going to destroy specifically these 3 middle blocks at the top. I'm going to replace them with glass. And these 3 blocks here, I'm going to destroy these and replace them with glass on this side. And all of these windows and all of this area can be completely made more interesting later. This is just how we're going to start this off. Now, once you have done that, I want you to now take, how do I describe this the best? I want you to extend up this quartz block here. Right, can you guys see? This quartz block, I want you to place 3 additional block of quartz on top of it. 1, 2, 3. And I want you to place going right of it a row of quartz slabs. This will connect to the back of the house. I want you to split the area by placing a row of quartz block up the middle. It should connect perfectly to the previous row of remaining quartz block. I then want you to completely fill in this area using grey concrete. And we are also going to extend the area upwards. Once more, using grey concrete like this, I want to extend the area upwards like that to give us this effect. Now that is looking satanic. I don't know what I'm seeing in the grey concrete and the glass, but I'm seeing something. Now, once you have done that, from the outside looking in, we will have this view. So this is what we have so far. You can see a lot of this house has been laid out, but of course there is much more. So there's a few parts of the house that need extending. If we look from the front of the house towards the back of the house, we want to locate ourselves this quartz block right here. It shouldn't be too hard to find. There's only like 2 rows of quartz visible on the back part of the house. And it's this one. We want to take this and place 7 quartz slabs moving forwards from this block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Turn that 7th block into a slab into a block, and then extend it down to the ground by 3 using block of quartz. 1, 2, 3. Like that. I then want you to take, similarly, I want you to take this row of block of quartz that we have up here, and I want you to extend this forwards by 7 using quartz slabs as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I want you to turn that into a quartz block, so turn the slab into a block like that, and then go down from this by 2 using block of quartz. 1, 2. And then place a quartz slab underneath it and extend it left, like that. But I also want you to extend it right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn that into a block of quartz and go down from it by 3. 1, 2, 3. I also want you to go up on top of it with block of quartz and place how many 3 blocks? 1, 2, 3. Connect it to the left using quartz slab, like so. And I also want you to connect it backwards using quartz slab 2. So I want you to connect it to the back of the build, like that. And you can even take the quartz block here that is connected using quartz slab rows, and you can extend that and connect it to the back of the build. And you can do a similar thing here. You can take this block of quartz that has a quartz slab underneath it, and you can extend that backwards as well, like this. So you can see what we're kind of getting to. I then want you to take this upper corner area here, this block of quartz connected using quartz slabs, and I want you to extend it forwards by 6 using quartz slabs. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then extend that block down. And place 2 quartz blocks underneath. 1, 2. With a quartz slab underneath that. And extend the quartz slab backwards to connect to the row, like so. We are then going to extend the quartz slab to the right too, and we're going to extend it to the right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I then want you to place a row of 4 oak planks going right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on this occasion, we're just going to connect to the right using grey concrete, like this. And what we now want to do is we want to raise up the oak planks. We're going to place about 4 rows on top of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the thing about the oak planks is I want to extend them downwards as well. They want to extend down, we can extend them all the way down to the ground, as a matter of fact. Let's extend them down to the ground, and we can delete them later if we need to. So we have a very large row of oak wood. I want you to extend that row of oak wood forwards by 2 rows. So that means all of them, unfortunately. Every single oak wood plank, extend it forward by not just 1 row, like I've done now, but 2 rows. And this is going to form a key feature for the house. Not only does it make the house more interesting, not only does it make sure that the house has a little bit of wood in it, but it's also going to be the reason that we have a nice hidden away couple of balconies. So the next point from here is taking this quartz block that is connected together using a lot of quartz slabs, and this quartz block I want to use quartz slab to connect this block to the right of the oak wood planks, and I want to move through this and I want to connect it, and it's not going to connect, by the way. I want to connect it right to the block of quartz. Like, it's not going to directly connect, but it will sit in front of this area right here. Okay? So next thing, I'm going to fill in the roof a little bit. Okay, I'm going to make the roof look a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to place a row of grey concrete that goes all the way around the top inside of the roof. And I might even extend the oak wood planks back a little bit, yeah. But it's going to come all the way around the inside of this part of the roof right here. And I'm actually going to delete the grey concrete block that we have on this part. I'm actually going to get rid of it because I have a different idea for the top part of this. I'm going to just rejoin that using quartz slab, and we'll have something which should look exactly like this so far, which is pretty good. So this middle part of the roof that we kind of just got rid of the grey concrete from, I'm going to place a square of grey concrete going around the inside of the top of the frame, like this. And then I'm going to place a square of oak wood planks, like this, inside. It's more of a rectangle than a square, to be honest. And then I'm going to fill the top in using glass. So to make that a bit more interesting, pretty much. You could even use oak slabs if you wanted to. Now that is a material that we do have on us. And from the inside looking up, this will look a bit more interesting than just the planks. So that's not a bad reason to have it. You could even then raise up the oak wood from the outside too, so it even looked kind of interesting from the outside. Depends how far you want to go with that stuff. So I also, now that we've filled in that little part of the roof, incidentally, we have this little roof here, and I'm going to place grey concrete all the way around the top of the roof like this. Grey concrete. I'm going to clean this up a bit, but I'm going to destroy that block, and I'm going to place, what do I want in its place? I kind of just want, we'll have a quartz slab, but then this point here, I mean, grey concrete. How weird. Maybe, you know what, maybe we'll get rid of the quartz entirely here and we'll just have a row of grey concrete. Maybe that'll work out better than having any quartz whatsoever. And then the top of this is just going to get filled in using grey concrete as well, like that. And this area too, this can just be filled in using grey concrete. This is going to be a little secret area where I actually hide a chest and an armor stand, and you can get a bow from that area. It's only accessible by climbing along the edge of like an overhang. But that's what we have so far. For the area up above here, what we're going to do is this, okay? So I'm going to completely fill the roof in, I think using glass. So glass is going to keep the roof nice and bright. But, I mean, it is a kind of a boring choice as well, right? You know, for the roof. There's so many different things you could do. You could like make the roof interesting. You could add like a skylight in it. I'm just going to add glass to it so that the upper part of this house is nice and bright. But you could easily just make it like grey concrete, or you could add like something interesting around it. But I'm also going to raise up the oak wood planks another row on the front. And I'm going to extend the oak wood planks inwards by 3 more rows, like 1, 2, and 3 rows, just so that it kind of like sits inside of this. Now this is what I'm talking about, right? We could then from this point, yeah, we could like extend the oak backwards, and we could really take advantage of like the shape of the oak like this, and we could really turn that into something like kind of cool, couldn't we? Is there something like we could have the light coming from there, and then we could like replace the sides of this using like grey concrete. Oh, you know, something that looks a little bit more artistic than just like making the roof completely glass. I don't know. You guys can do whatever you like, but you know, I guess that looks a little bit more interesting, right? I mean, you could even have it so that the oak wood slabs were as high as the oak wood planks that we have at the front of the house. That does look a bit better than just having a boring old roof. But anyway, this is what we want to have so far, right? So now from the front, you can see how this is piecing together. This is looking pretty good. So what are the next few steps, you're probably wondering to yourselves? Well, we have to make some more rooms, right? We've got to make some rooms. So where shall we start? A lot of the area that's missing is the middle area. If we had that, it'd actually be a bit easier. So what I want you to do, and this is very simple, I want you to grab the grey concrete, and I want you to, like, let's say that we have this row of grey concrete at the front right side of the house. I want you to, from the top of this grey concrete, I want you to add an entire floor into the house using grey concrete. If we have a floor installed, then it's going to give more context, it's going to give more structure to what we're going to be doing around the house. So we want to have a row of grey concrete that just nice and happily sits inside all of the empty space that we have in the frame. Okay, so I'm going to guide you through this because we don't want to absolutely just grey concrete everywhere. That would be a little bit crazy, but you can see like on the outside, you can see like where that balcony should be filled in. And this one too. And I want you to extend the grey concrete backwards. Just extend it backwards in a straight line inside of the quartz block frame. As long as you stay inside of the quartz lines, then I don't see how you could go too far wrong. So for instance, like if you come about as far back as here, and then you can see we're still sitting inside of the quartz block frame, then you can extend this across and you can turn this in. I'm not even sure if this outside part's supposed to be grey concrete. So once again, I'm going to take my own advice and I'm going to stay inside of the quartz block frame like this. You can see, so from the outside you can see that we've not tampered with the walkway around the outside. We're only messing around with the inside, aka the frame of the house, and we're just going to add all of the grey concrete inside here. So we're going to add all of that here, just like this, and this is going to form the inside of the house. And once we've done this, I think that we're going to add some walkways and stuff to the outside of the house, just to make it easier for you guys to see how this house should be built. like, once we finish the frame, I want you guys to understand why it was made like this and how it all works together. As weird as that might sound, right? I want you to understand how I pieced this thing together. So, from now, you can see that that's actually done quite a decent job, right? I hope that you guys can now see that that's kind of like put a bit more structure to the house. So next, I want to do this. So can you remember earlier when we placed a row of free grey concrete next to the pool? Well, I want you to take the free concrete, and I want you to, on the wall to the right, I want you to take this row of free grey concrete and I want you to transfer it to the wall on the right, like that, if that makes sense. I want you to place a row of free grey concrete on the right. And I want this free grey concrete, I want it to go all the way around the inside of the path. And by path, I mean like this. I want it to go underneath and around the quartz blocks, and I want it to join to the very back of the house. So you can see it joins here. We've went all the way around the inside, we've went underneath the blocks of quartz like this, and we started from here, like that. And I'm just going to fill in underneath the grey concrete here. And I might actually fill in underneath all of the grey concrete that we've just placed, because it actually does a good job in separating the rooms for us later too. And that's something that I do want to show you. I want to show you how I kind of devised the room. So I'm just going to fill to about here, because that is where I have an archery range. And you can kind of see that that has made it so that we kind of have a very clear pathway area. So now that we have these 2 rows of free grey concrete, right? I want you to place in front of these 3 rows of grey concrete, I want you to place 2 rows of concrete. So the bottom 2 blocks, extend them forwards towards you by 1 row, like that. And then I want you to extend them again, 1 row towards you, like this. So it's kind of created a stairs system. I then want you to place quartz stairs coming upwards inside the grey concrete, coming up towards the top. I then want you to fill the top of this in using either quartz slab or quartz block. It doesn't really matter which, you can choose whatever, but this is going to be how we get into the main part of the house. There's plenty of parts of the house, but this is the main part of the house. This will take you to the front door, if that's what you want to call it. That's where all of the good stuff is. Well, I say all of the good stuff. That's where a lot of the stuff is. A lot of the good stuff is actually hidden away in some of the side rooms, but you guys get the idea. I also want to devise a doorway, and by that I mean I want to destroy these 2 stairs, and I want to have a door like just sat inside of about here, like so in the middle of the stairs. It's easy to go past it. I just want to have like a stair. I want you to have a doorway that kind of just like leads you directly inwards like that. Now, once you have done that, like I said, you know, we've done a pretty decent job so far of really laying out this house. We're actually cracking on with this really nicely. So next, I kind of want to create a path. So this path starts at the front of the house. This is the main entrance. Like this is the gates here. You know, this is the gates. And speaking of the gates, I also want to place quartz slab on top of these 2 quartz blocks here that we have at the front of the house, so that they're all the same height. Well, I then want to grab oak fence, and I want to place oak fence on the inside of the 2 rows of quartz that we've got to move through to get inside the property. And I'm going to destroy the ground between them, but not underneath them. I'm then going to destroy 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows coming inwards. I'm then going to take the last 3 rows and extend them to the right. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to dig out these rows, and I'm going to connect these not only to the staircase, but I'm also going to connect it to this door on the right hand side. And what's different here is I want you to place quartz slabs inside of the empty road, inside of the empty path that we have just created. So coming all this way, quartz slabs inside of the empty path, just like this. In particular places where you would have like an entrance, like a doorway like this. So let me just show you. So like we'd have a door here, right? Something like that. You're going to want to create a step up. So whether that's using quartz stairs or something similar, then you know you're going to want to do that. Like here, for instance, you're going to want to place like quartz slabs and like quartz slabs here. And where you can see underneath like these grey concrete blocks, right? That's kind of ugly. So I'm going to straw underneath them and I'm going to replace quartz blocks there. And I might even extend the quartz like left and right, just like that. Just because that looks kind of cool. But, you know, you don't have to do that whatsoever. Now, once you have done that, you can see that we now have a very clear pathway. And we have a lot of our rooms set out. I would also like to take this empty space here. You can see where we have this empty row of grey concrete. I'm going to fill this in, this row. And I want to do this, essentially. From the back left-hand corner of this oak wood plank, like here, I want to place a grey concrete. And I want to extend this grey concrete to the left. Actually, do I want to do that? I don't want to extend it. Yeah, I want to extend this grey concrete to the left by 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. I then want to extend that block backwards by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm then going to extend that to the right by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then I'm going to connect that to the back of the house to make a wall like this. And I'm also going to want to install another floor and some more walkways and stuff. But for now, we're just gonna, that's what we're going to have there. We've created another wall, which is good for us because it adds structure. And we're also going to place quartz, grey concrete behind all of this quartz slab that we have, like behind this here, like above where we were just building. We're going to place grey concrete coming all the way around the inside of the quartz slab, like this. So from the outside, once again, speaking of structure, that's all we're doing. You can see that we now have another row of grey concrete. And incidentally, you could even fill in inside of the house here. And this will give us the second floor of the house. If you don't count the ground floor as a floor. I suppose you wouldn't. Like ground floor, first floor, second floor. This is like the top floor of the house, I'll say. And I'm just going to fill this in using grey concrete. Because once again, it does matter. We want to use this house, don't we? We want it to be a nice area that we can fill in, that makes sense, that is separated into rooms. That's what this is. So, and that's what we're doing. That's why we're creating all of the floor. That's why we're creating all of the paths nice. That's why we're making a logical build instead of like a really weird, crazy build. This build is a little bit crazy, but you know, it's not without its logic to it. It makes sense. So that is what we want to have so far. Once again, we've pieced even more of the puzzle together. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to come over to the right side of the build. And I want you to take this block of quartz that we have right here. You know, we have a row of block of quartz. You guys can remember this fairly well. Well, I want you to place next to this block of quartz a row of 5 grey concrete, 6 grey concrete going left of it. Okay, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And connect it backwards and also connect it down like that. Fill in the top of this area using grey concrete too, like that. And this is going to be another balcony area. So the entrance to this balcony is going to be made out of like block of quartz. And the entrance is going to be pretty much mostly like in the middle of this grey concrete. So I'm going to extend this row of grey concrete forwards too. Actually, like it's actually a double door. So I'm going to place like a double door like right in the middle. And I'm going to place a block of quartz around the double door like this. Like all the way around it, like that. Just because I think that that looks kind of cool. And I'm also going to, this left area in here, we want to be able to get out of this area onto this balcony. So I'm going to place some grey concrete here, and then that leaves like a doorway. And I'm going to place some blue stained glass paint that kind of goes around, just to make it look a bit more apparent. And I'm also going to add a trim, like around the top of the door. I'm going to place quartz slab. I'm going to extend it forwards and to the right, like this. And on the right hand side, I'm going to also have a trim, like I'm just going to extend it backwards, like through the door, like that. And I'm also going to take this block of quartz just slightly above this one. I'm going to place a trim of quartz slab just going around the top of the upper balcony like that. It just looks good. And I also want to create the doorway, like up here we have another balcony. I know, balcony. It never stops. I want you to make the grey concrete even with the block of quartz. And I want you to add a doorway in, like somewhere here, like an oak door there, it'd be fine. And I'm going to place grey concrete around the oak door, like this. So from the outside, it'll look exactly like that. You can even have a little window if you like. And I'm going to place glass pane all the way around the edge of the balcony on the grey concrete, not on the quartz slab. So something like that would look great. So you can see that we've established quite a few doorways on that particular part. Whilst we are on the upper level, this area in here, I'm just going to place grey concrete around the inside of it like this. Yeah, so like this, kind of like in a rectangular shape. And I'm going to fill the middle part in with glass pane, like that. The left side here, I'm going to do the same. It's going to be grey concrete going all the way around the inside like this, with glass pane in the middle. Again, I just like the way that looks. Now, this part here is interesting. I'm going to connect the right side down using grey concrete. I'm going to stick a door in the middle. And I'm going to place glass block left and right of it. Okay? And what I want to do is I want to add about two rows of quartz slab in front of where this balcony is, in front of where this doorway is, about 2 rows of quartz slab. And the point of this is so that we can walk out this door, and we can walk around, and we gain access to this otherwise inaccessible part of the house. And we're just going to put like a double chest there or something secretive, you know? And you can see, once again, I keep saying this, but it's just interesting how it all does slowly build up together. And once we have reached this point right here, the only rooms that we kind of like have to focus on are these lower rooms. So first of all, we're dropping down a level, and we have this room. I think that this one, yeah, all the right side's done. So this area here, I'm going to connect the bottom corner to the top corner. And I'm going to frame it. I'm going to place grey concrete here on this right side. And grey concrete here on this left side. So like, again, I'm creating window space. And then I'm going to place glass inside of it. Glass pane preferably, because it creates depth and glass block doesn't. I do kind of go through my phases, but glass pane is superior looking most of the time to glass block. Like that. And then this left side here is a bit different, you see. Okay, so we're going to add a grey concrete here on the corner, connecting the top to the bottom. We're going to place a row of grey concrete here, connecting the top to the bottom as well. We're going to cut the area in half with a row of grey concrete too, like this. So it kind of, you know, it's kind of like the number 8, but sideways. And we're going to, on the inside of this, fill in the inside of this part using oak wood planks. And the reason for this is because we're going to have some paintings as decoration. So from the outside looking in, we want to have this, and we're going to have we're going to need iron trapdoors, levers, and paintings. And I'm going to place iron trapdoors on the left and right hand sides of the empty space, like this, which just leaves the middle 4 blocks, and I'm going to place paintings inside of the middle 4 blocks. Now, I've got 2 paintings in mind. One of them, the Karate Kid, and the other one is kind of like a Greek philosopher-looking guy. You'll know it when you see it. Where is he? I love these 2 paintings. They're my favorite 2x2 paintings. Sometimes it takes... there we go. I love those paintings the best. And then on the inside, I'm going to add levers wherever we have to. Like, we'll have to add one here, maybe one here. On the inside, that might take care of both of them. And then here on the end too. And what will that end up looking like? We've got most of the trapdoors down. I guess that these 2 didn't work. So how about there and there too? And yeah, from the outside looking in, you see that looks really cool. But use your favorite paintings, you know. You don't have to use my favorites. Which leaves just one room, which is this room. And the doorway is going to be here. So I'm going to grab an oak wood door and place it here. And I'm going to place grey concrete filling in the entire rest of the wall. Because we've got all those levers and stuff. So that is what we want to have, ladies and gentlemen, so far, right? Now that is pretty much like a blank canvas. That is what the house looks like by itself without any decoration at all. And that is really, really good. But this next part is going to be us decorating the outside of the house at the very least to make it look a bit better. Back in a mo. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now that we have made the actual house itself, it's time to decorate the outside of it a little bit because it's looking a bit boring and bland. So, we're going to need all of these materials that I have in my inventory right now. The first part of what we're going to do is we're going to spruce up the house using a lot of plant life and a lot of plant life. So make sure that you have all of this stuff, pause the video if you have to, and then we can continue on. If you want to decorate your house in a completely different manner, I'm not going to be offended. Make it how you want it. So, let's start from the beginning. This is the entrance to the house. I'm going to start off by planting poppies around the pathway that takes us up to, well, takes us everywhere pretty much. Like the pathway that takes us all the way into the bedroom area, the pathway that takes us into the archery range, and the pathway that also takes us into the house. I'm placing poppies all the way around that pathway, which is a very basic thing to do. So I'm going to, left and right of the stairs area, I'm going to destroy, and I'm going to place jungle leaves. I'm going to place an oak fence with jungle leaves on top to better frame the area. I'm also going to place jungle leaves in front of this window here to the right, just because, again, I just want to make it nice and bright and colourful and lively. I'm even going to place a cauldron here, just in the right. It doesn't have to be symmetrical, with a jungle leaf on top. Once again, all of this is in the name of making it nice, bright and colourful. Now, doesn't that look better? We've got a modern blend mixed with some nice nature. Now, once we have done that bit, we are also going to want to, moving up these stairs a little bit, we're going to want to add, maybe even on the stairs themselves actually, maybe like a flower pot with a poppy in it. Poppy's my favourite flower. Feel free to grab a variety if you're not happy with just having poppies. And as we move up and around this path, I also want to have a row of trees along this path as well on the left hand side here, because it looks a bit bare. So maybe if you place like an oak fence every other block like this, and then you place 2 jungle leaves on top of every single one of them, it will really brighten up this particular part of the walkway. And it's a bit lifeless at the moment, there's not really too much going on with it. You could even have a planter here just next to this door, a planter being grass blocks with wooden trapdoors around it, like this. Maybe even like, we could even have like a cauldron in the corner, jungle leaves on top, and then like plants inside of it. You could even, if you wanted to go one step further, you could have like iron trapdoors or something above that, just to kind of like, again, just to make it perhaps a bit more appealing, a bit more interesting to look at. Now, once you've decorated that sort of area, and you can see that it has made a decent difference, we're also going to add some more plants around. So like, for instance, like where we have this little balcony here, I want a cauldron in the corner with like jungle leaves on top of it. Where we have this balcony up here, I'm going to want to have like a cauldron with, well, where do I want the cauldron? Probably in the corner, with jungle leaves and stuff on top of it. Maybe just one. Yeah, that looks good. as we move through the house, maybe like where we have this door here onto this other balcony, maybe cauldron again with some jungle leaves. We could even have like a flower pot with like a poppy in it. And as we go around the corner, I actually want to have a planter on this balcony too. So that means grass blocks with wooden trapdoors surrounding it on top. And I'm also going to, of course, plant some nice colourful flowers inside of them as well. So like this. And all in all, you know, that looks really cool, that looks really nice, and that looks colourful. That's quite a lot of flowers and plants and stuff that we've added around the house. Now, I don't know whether we're going to add any more at this point in time, but actually, I do know that because we are missing one. If we come all the way to the front right side of the house, I almost missed this, it's easy to miss, where we have this window here, I actually want to place some grass blocks directly below the window, right? And I'm actually going to destroy below the grass blocks, and I want the grass blocks to be turned on. I think levers underneath them would actually do. I think that would send a power output, and then trapdoors. I'm wrong, it doesn't send a power output. Okay, well, maybe if the levers... I'm not going to dig any deeper, actually, but I'm pretty sure that torches would work in any case. There we go, so torches would work equally as well to provide power to the trapdoors. And then just some poppies in there. Maybe some wooden trapdoors above the window, you know, something just to make it look a little bit more colourful, as I keep saying. And that's actually now, that's quite a lot of plant life, right? You know, we've added quite a bit there. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to decorate the walkway area around here. Okay, so this walkway area, it uses its own set of materials, and let me grab them. So these are the sorts of materials that we are going to be using for the walkway area. And I want you to grab these if you plan on doing it like me, and pause the video once you do have them. So on this walkway area, the main feature is the fact that we've got a parasol, an umbrella. And the parasol is positioned right in the middle of the path, in the right side of the karate painting. So you find the right side of the karate painting where that guy's doing a karate chop, and you find the middle of the path, and you place two end rods on top of each other, quartz slabs all around the top end rod, quartz slab on top of the end rod, maybe even a block above it, and then red beds all the way around the top of this. Doesn't have to be red, I just, you know, red is my favourite colour, so what are you going to do? Something like that, you know? Looks great. We're going to add a couple of lounging chairs, which means one block away from the umbrella, we're going to place an oak wood stair with oak wood slabs in front. So oak wood stair, oak wood slab in front, one row away from the parasol. And left and right of that, I'm actually going to make a little table using a quartz slab, wooden trapdoor, and I'm going to place a flower pot on top of that. And that kind of looks like a like a flimsy table with like a drink on it. And we're doing the same on the right side too. So like just one block away from the actual bed, it's wooden trapdoor, quartz block, and a flower pot provides a nice little bit of decoration. Here here going around the path as well, we want to place a strip of red carpet moving through the middle of the path. Now, you're not going to be able to place that everywhere, so don't bother, but where you can, place a red strip of carpet going through the middle of the path, which kind of leads you around the path itself, like it kind of shows you where you've got to go. That's why I like having like red carpets and stuff in general. It kind of just shows you where you need to go. In a similar vein, like I'm even going to add a little bit of red carpet up here as well on this balcony, and it's kind of going to point inwards. And I'm also going to add a bit of red carpet here as well on this balcony, because once again, you know, it kind of just shows you that there's something worth looking at on those particular balconies. And once you have done that, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a couple of lounging areas to, you know, just make the outside of the house look a bit more presentable. So like on this terrace, for instance, this is quite a big one, the one on the right hand side. I'm going to place a couple of oak wood slabs positioned away from each other, like 2 blocks away from each other. I'm going to chuck maybe like a white carpet in front of them, and it kind of just looks like a small chair with maybe like a little footrest. and I'm going to place, I want to have a double furnace in between them, like here, so that kind of like facing towards like a double furnace. I'm going to place oak fence left and right of the double furnace as well. And I'm going to place quartz blocks behind the double furnace slash oak wood. And I think I'm also going to place maybe some red carpet on top of the oak wood fence. And I would also like to place some wooden trapdoors behind all of this, flicking upwards. And it kind of just looks like a little bit of a cooking station. It just looks kind of cool, honestly. I really like how it looks. Up above here, like where we have this red carpet and stuff too, a little seat or something, a couple of seats up here would be pretty cool. So maybe like here and here, have a couple of chairs. Maybe even have like, what I also like is hiding chests around houses. Like up here, like not only do we have like a couple of chairs, we have a plant and stuff, but we now have a double chest just hidden outside. And it's the same sort of thing here, like if you could easily like hide a cool chest here. I like people like Easter egg hunting, like scavenger hunting for stuff. And the same goes here, like you could have a chest hidden away on that balcony. I mean, maybe that's easy to get to, right? Because, you know, you can just jump onto that balcony and stuff. But that kind of defeats the purpose of, like, finding the door for it and what have you. You can cheat it, but, you know, then it's not fun. So, we also want to... I like the idea of having, like, again, like, chests everywhere, like stuff people want to find. Maybe like a chest this time with like an oak fence and like an iron trap door on top of it, you know, just for a bit of decoration. It looks like a little bit of a table. And what I really like, because this is actually the hardest chest that you'll find, like up here where we place this red carpet, if we have a double chest here, and then something worth finding, right? Maybe, I don't know whether it's like maybe like a chest and an ender chest or something like that, and maybe like a nice cool set of armor with maybe like a bow or something, you know? Something worth finding should be up here because it is hard to find. And maybe just like to even out a little bit of an armor stand. And you could even decorate the area, you know, by placing like jungle leaves and like plants and stuff. But, you know, maybe even a painting too. But you should be rewarded for finding that area because that's a really cool one, you know. And you can see it. Like, as you walk around, you'll catch a glimpse of it and you'll be like, huh, how do I get up there? And, you know, the way that you'll find it is through exploring the house, which is exactly what I want people to do. And one little thing that's bugging me too, at this particular moment in time, I noticed that the water isn't still. I actually noticed a little while back, but yeah, there we go. The water's still now. Perfect. And I don't know, you know, we've really just spruced up the outside of the house by doing that. Like, hasn't that made such a difference? I think it has. And you know what? Before I call this tutorial, there is just one more thing that we can do, which really does improve this house. It'll require some oak wood planks, some sea lanterns, and some block of quartz. All the way around the house, you can see that we have all of these stairs. Well, I would recommend digging underneath the entire house, all of these stairs, the upside down stairs. That's because you can see underneath them, right? With an upside down stair, you've got like that half a block that you can see, which is cool, but also annoying. It means that if you've got something boring underneath there, then it needs changing. You know what I'm saying? So we're getting rid of all of that underneath all of the upside down stairs that we can see, and there's a lot of them throughout the house, right? And we're going to take the middle blocks and we're going to place sea lanterns in them with oak wood planks around it. Now that provides a nice bit of light for around the house, and it also at night makes this house look really cool, which we'll take a look into at the end of this. But I want you to place sea lanterns in the floor in the middle. You're actually not going to be able to do it with that last panel because it's not an odd number, but we'll go back and we'll fix that in a second. But what I do want you to do, plant sea lanterns in the middle of all of the stairs like this, and we're just going to place oak wood planks around them like that. And it just looks cool, and it further adds to the color combination. I love the color combination of grey, quartz, and oak wood. I love the color combination. So yeah, it just doesn't work, you see, like here, but maybe like a double sea lantern would work just fine. And just moving it around, we're going to place this. And we're also just going to add like a bit of a path at the front of the house as well. So like I'm going to dig just left of this area here. I'm also going to just dig out this path just to make the house, like square the house up, if that makes sense. I'm going to put quartz block inside of this empty space, like this. And I'm going to turn the rest of it into oak wood planks. Okay, so I'm going to destroy all this, and just to kind of frame it properly, I'm just going to place some oak wood planks, and you'll see the difference it makes. I think it makes a bit of a difference anyway. So now, there we go. That looks pretty cool to me. Now we have really added a frame to around the outside of the house, and I think that looks cool. Like if you set night, then I don't know. There's something cool about that, right? Right? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. So the only thing that I now want to make sure, alright, the only thing that I want to make sure now is that the house can be divided up into rooms logically. Okay, so this is the outside of the house. This is the tutorial finished, really, but let's explore all the rooms. Let's see how we would divide them up. So we'll start off with the bedroom area, which is on the right side of the house. Here is where I would have a load of bedrooms, and I would divide the area. You can see where we have this row of grey concrete. I would divide the area by creating a wall here. So I would wall that part off, I'd leave that alone, and this would all be its own separate space. You don't even have to have the oak wood down here if you just want to expand on the house a little bit. And what I did, I'd recommend digging into the ground as well, right? Like I'd dig down to create more headroom. That's what I do with this space. I'll show you how it looks once it's all done, but like that's how you separate the rooms. Like there's a clear divide between this and that opposite side. And what is on that opposite side, by the way, if we go through this door, we have like a hallway which brings us in and takes us to the left, which is cool. And this is where I have my archery range. Maybe you can see why I decided to make it one, because like it's naturally this sort of shape. So that's perfect. This is already set out as a nice room all by itself. No further explanation. As we move into the main house, however, like, again, I mean, it is set up into logical houses as you look, logical rooms as you set into it, like this, the first floor here, like this is where the dining room slash living room slash kitchen is, like this all works. We go through here into these, not much needs explaining. The way that I get up onto the second floor is I just have a set of stairs here, just in the corner, set out however I have them set out. You know, something like this, and it allows us to go up to the second floor. This is the second floor. This is the highest level that you can reach on the house, which takes you out onto the balconies, of course. And if you go through here all the way to the end, then this, of course, takes you to the secret balcony. So you can see that the house is really easily divided up into rooms. Really is. It's very, very already ready to be divided up, turned into a nice, proper house. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial, by the way. As I finish up the tutorial, as I say my goodbyes and my thank yous, I'm going to take you for another tour around the house, just in case you want some interior inspiration, alright? But this is the tutorial portion done. Before I just show you around the inside of this house again, I just want to say how much I appreciate every single one of you guys for watching this video, and how much it would mean to me if you could hit that like button, as it would really help me and the channel out immensely. And if you do enjoy the content enough to make it this far in the video, please share it with a friend. I would really appreciate it. So I'm going to slowly pan around the inside of the house to give you guys some inspiration with what you can do to the inside if you have no ideas whatsoever. So this is the small area to the right of the house, and in this small area I have divided it into 4 bedrooms like this. They each have their own separate room, they've all got the same things in it, and leading up to the bedrooms we have a storage area. Mostly just valuable things, but if you've absolutely got no ideas for this house, then this will hopefully help you out a little bit. And I have also dropped the floor by 1 block as well. And as we do move through the house, this is the hidden archery range that we have through these doors right here, you can see how it's decorated. You can see that it's basically just a nice long hallway with plenty of chests and decoration, as it leads to an archery course here, in which the 2 players would stand on each one of the colours and try and shoot specific targets, with a little scoreboard too. And coming out of here, these are the lower rooms. If we come into the main room here, like if we come into the main part of the house, we have a long hallway. This conceals all of the levers and stuff for the outer decoration. We have a jukebox and some flowers, but we have a pretty cool living room kitchen that I really like. It's nice and colourful. The TV is quite interesting to look at. We have a kitchen area as well with some stairs. We even have a hidden room underneath the stairs too. This leads us out onto the balcony, of course, but you guys don't need to see that because we did actually include those in the tutorial. If we come upstairs as well, then you can see that this is very survival themed up here. There's plenty of armor, there's brewing, there's furnaces, there's enchantment libraries, there's all sorts of stuff. And all of this is just inspiration. If you have to go back, if you have to pause, then feel free to do so. But I believe that I've shown you everything there. I don't think that there's much left. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. Please do remember to like the video if you have liked it. I really would appreciate that. I honestly would. If you do want to keep up to date with the channel, please do subscribe and click the little bell next to the subscription button. That ensures that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. And if you would like to make any more of my stuff, please check out the card system and the description below for some of my many other builds. I'd highly recommend the Modern House Builds playlist, or possibly the Mansion Builds playlist, which will show you how to make all sorts of awesome, huge modern houses in all sorts of different varieties. Plus, we make just about everything on this channel, ranging from fun stuff to survival to cartoon to movie. We do a little bit of everything, so please do check out the card system in the description below for other builds of mine. I'll especially leave a link to this house here down below in the comments because I really love that mansion too. It's definitely a cool one. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate every single one of you so much. I really do want to just show my love to every single one of you. I really do hope that you guys enjoy these videos and appreciate them as much as I appreciate you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!